Hey guys, welcome back. So in the previous video we made a splash screen. Took us about 5 minutes. Now in this one we're going to make the login screen. Now if you followed me from the last bit of the last video, we did create a login class and we copy pasted the splash component into it. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. Get rid of the styles. Get rid of icon. Actually no, keep icon. Now the imports here, let's add some additional imports. So we've got a safe area view style sheet. We also want keyboard avoiding view. So what this means is our keyboard will push our components upwards rather than hide them. Let's also do a touchable without feedback. So this will be our area to which once we click it, well, let's actually just go ahead and use pressable. Since pressable is a new component, we've been using that. Touchable without feedback is pretty much the same as pressable, but pressable is new. So let's go ahead and go over the newer component for now. Let's also import keyboard so we can control the keyboard when we want to dismiss it, bring it up, etc. Let's bring in platform so we know what device we're using. So with platform we can identify if it's iPhone or Android and kind of determine what to do depending on those on that operating system. And last but not least, status bar. Cool. So once we got that in, we'll need a few more actually components, our custom ones. Let's go ahead and import our input. And also bring in our button. Cool, that should be it for the time being. Now let's go ahead and bring our items in. So let's start with our keyboard avoiding view. That would be our main view, similar to a normal view or a safe area view. And in here we'll determine our behavior. So let's go ahead and bring this down and let's go type behavior just like that equals platform.os equal to iOS, right? If it is equal to iOS, then make it padding, right? The behavior, make the behavior padding, else make it height. Right, now this is based on how it feels in terms of the keyboard moving, right? On each on both devices it will behave differently. So you can keep it the same, which is perfectly fine. We're going to do it like that, just like the documentation shows. So let's go style equals styles.container. At the moment we have no container, but that's fine. And let's go ahead and bring in our status bar. Status bar equals, oops, when we're doing that, status bar like that, and then we'll say our bar style is equal to dark content. Now dark content meaning the text on the status bar will be dark, black, because of course our background is gray, it's a light background. Now that we got our status bar there, we want to put our pressable here. So if the pressable is clicked, it'll take off the keyboard, right? So the keyboard will be dismissed. So inside of our pressable, let's go ahead and give it an onPress equals keyboard dot dismiss. Cool. Now let's put our safe area view. Now I know we've got a lot of views here. So the safe area view is just our backup view. Just so when we put our components in, even though we're going to center everything, it's not really going to overlap against any like the status bar and stuff. But just in case, to be safe, someone might be using an iPhone 4 which has a really small screen, and our components may overlap on that. So let's do that, and let's give it a style. So we're going to give us a style called styles.inner. We'll create those in a second. And then let's go ahead and bring in our icon component that we made, and let's provide our style in that. So we'll say margin bottom 20, and that is wholly based off this one here. What was our distance? 1020. Yeah, 1020. So margin bottom 20 on that. And then let's bring in our inputs. So now we're using our input components. Let's give it title equals email. Don't need to do much more except our placeholder equals enter your email, and the style, we don't need to put it in our actual style sheet. We can just straight up write it here, say margin bottom 20, because it's 20 from the other component. Let's go with that, and let's bring in another input. We can just go ahead and copy paste this one and rename email to password and enter your password. The margin bottom this time is 30, right? Because the distance between distance between this one and this one is 30, but distance between this and this is 20. So one more thing is also secure text entry. We can just type it like that. That is the same as doing true like that. And what this means is, of course, like I showed you earlier, it'll create those black dots for our password field, so it hides our password. And now let's bring in our infamous button. And in the button, let's provide the text as login for this one. The style, we'll do margin bottom 15. And the on press, well, we don't need an on press at the moment, so that's fine. When we're connecting the app, we'll add that. We'll add another button. Oops. And here the text will be register. Now here we also want to give it a color, so we provide that as a prop. So bg color is going to be hashtag 707070. Now when we click it, it's going to be slightly lighter, and I pretty much just did 91 91 91. How did I determine that? Basically, I took this value here, I clicked that, and I just made it a little bit lighter. I think I did around there. Yeah, that's exactly brightness 110 is what I did, and that made it 91 91. So we've got all that. Let's go ahead and add our styles real quick. So our styles was container flex 1, and our inner is also flex 1, just like that. But also justify content center, so everything is centered, and also align items center. Save that. Now one more thing is we need to rename it from splash to login. We don't need to, but we definitely should, so it doesn't get confusing. Here we go. Now we can straight up import this, so go ahead, just copy that, login, and then here we'll type login and login. Save that, and let's see what we get. Right, it disconnected for me on there. That's great. Let me reconnect that 1 second. Give me a few minutes to reconnect everything. Alright guys, sorry about that. So let's go ahead and load. Okay, so it shouldn't look like that. Let's double check a few things. Right, so the pressable has no kind of height. So what we'll do is give it the same styling as styles.container, because there's only flex in there. Once we do that, there we go. Great. So if we full screen, now you can see our text bars here. If we click off, it's going to drop the keyboard down. So as you can see, when we click in here, the keyboard is pushing our components upwards. Now it's doing that because we have the keyboard avoiding view. Of course, we want to kind of avoid more, but what's important is the keyboard isn't blocking our login screen or our password as much. Because if we didn't add the keyboard avoiding view, then it actually would have blocked our login and maybe even the password partially. So we can actually test that right now. Just change that to view, and let's go ahead and remove this one for now. Or here, let's just do safe area view since we have it. Let's try that. So as you can see, it's blocking my login and it's not blocking the password as much, but I can't log in now. I'll need to click off how to do that. So if we get rid of that and put it back how it was. Now also the pressable, the main reason why when we click this and we click once we press off, so right now I'm actually pressing something else. So let's say I press login, or not login, so if I just press the outside, like the icon is pushing off the keyboard. That is because we have this here. If we get rid of that, just like that, now I'm clicking on the background, but it's not dropping the keyboard down. So that's why we have that to drop the keyboard down. Alright, cool. So that is our login screen, right? Pretty basic. In next video, we'll make the register screen and go from there. Actually, let's just make the register screen now. It'll be quite quick. So go ahead and now a new JavaScript file, call it register. And all we really need to do is copy our login screen, paste it here, rename pretty much everything to register. By everything I mean just the class name, and then here we still got email, password, and instead of saying login, we'll say register, and where it says register, we'll say back. And if we save that, go to app.js and go ahead and import register. There we go. And let's go ahead and add register here, call it register, save that, and now it pretty much looks like the login screen. We actually need to change that. So let's go back, and in the icon, let's give it a name. So what do we call it? We call it text equals register. So once we save that, boom, there we go. So that is our two authentication screens, login screen and register. So in the next video, we'll make the home screen and the create screen. Create screen will pretty much be a copy paste job again. So I'll see you guys in the next video.